Okay, so here we go. Now, what I've done in the CSS real quick is I've made the HTML and the body, the height 100%. That way, this picture will fit no matter what size window we have, okay? And we made the background cover the entire page, and we made the background come from the picture. Now, don't worry, this picture is in the uh, for public use, so I'm using something that I won't get sued for. This is just for example purposes. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work with this nav bar right here. So we're going to take the nav bar and we're going to actually make it fixed. So we're going to put a position of fixed, and we're going to put top 0, left 0, and width of 100%. Okay, and we're going to put a height on it of about 55 pixels. That should be all right. Okay, so now fixed top and left, width, and height. There you go, a little bit easier just to read. Okay, and now when I go scroll up and down, you see the navigation stays. Okay, so which means that I'm gonna have to push down the rest of the information here. So I'm gonna have to move down my main information, my main content right here. This is the main content, the body. Okay, I'm gonna push down my main content of a few pixels here. So let's go ahead and move my main content down. Let's move it down about 65 pixels. Okay, and there you go. Now it works a little bit better here, and it still will maintain that as we get bigger and smaller. Okay, so now we have our margin top of 65 pixels, and then we're going to go ahead and format this navigation. So we're going to, just so we can see what's going on, we're going to put a background, and we're going to use one of our colors. So let's go ahead and use let's see, this blue right here. So we're going to go ahead and use this color. I'm just going to copy it over. Okay, and there's our color. Now, as you can see, it goes behind it. We'll fix that in a second. And then we're going to make this line height also 55 pixels so that our navigation is right in the center. And then I'm going to continue formatting this so you can see what's going on. So we're going to go to the Nav A. I'm going to go now we're going to do the color of the actual navigation. So we could probably use this white so that it's not completely white. So I'm going to do copy. Okay. And there's our white color. Okay, it's already looking a lot better. I'm going to do a font variant of small caps. That's one of my favorite to use. Okay, and then we're going to give it a little hover. Oops, sorry. And we're gonna use maybe this bright here just to hover. No, let's use this green here just to hover. So we're gonna do copy. Okay, so now we have this doing this like that. Okay, very nice. And let's make it centered. That way it's out of the way. Okay, so now we have a nice little area, except that when we go up and down, we don't see anything going on here. So we want to be able to see behind it. And we're going to do the same thing when we do um, our background too for our body. So let's just make this kind of see-through. So instead of the background for the nav being this color here, we're actually going to use the RGB, which was here. We're going to use the RGB and we're going to add A so that we can add the see-through. So it's 75, 119, 166. So RGBA, and of course I'm not going to remember that. So it's 75, 119, and 166, and we're just going to start with 1. That way we have the same color. And then we just incrementally bring it down. So let's bring it down to 0.5. And now, as you can see, it goes behind it. Okay? And it works out pretty well. I like that. We can make it a little darker if you want. And it's still kind of see-through, but not all the way. And let's do a happy medium. Let's do 7.75. And that seems pretty good to me. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing for our body. Now for our body, which is the mobile nav area, I'm sorry, the main content area, we're going to go down here and we're going to do the max width of, let's try, I don't know, 960 pixels. Now we're gonna bring this down here, this margin, and we know that the margin of the top is gonna be 65 pixels, and then the top, then the right is gonna be auto, and then the bottom is gonna be 0 and then auto. Okay, there we go. And now the background. So we're gonna make the background the same idea. So we're gonna do, let's try this, the same white right here, but we're gonna use the RGBA. So let's see if we can get these colors here. So 217, 217, 205. Seems easy enough. Okay, and as you can see, we can't see anything now. We need that runner, but we can't see the runner at all. So let's put a little padding there. There we go. And maybe give it a little bit of rounded corners. Oops. Yeah. That seems pretty nice. Now we're gonna just incrementally bring this down. There you go, and we can still see pretty much our area here. Now this black is, I think it's just regular black. Yeah, a little brighter than black. So we're gonna copy this, and we're gonna put the text color for the whole body. That color. Okay, that way we will make sure that the entire body is that color. Very good. It's looking pretty good already. And we can still see our, now if we wanted to make it a little bit brighter, that works pretty good. You can still, now with the little highlight, we can see a little bit better, but we can't see over this dark area here. So we're gonna have to raise it a little bit more. There you go. So we can see over the dark area. And as you can see, as we get bigger, it works. And as we get smaller, it also works. Okay? Now we got to get this footer area bend down. Let's try 55 pixels also. Give it a solid background. Let's give it this dark background here. And give the color of the white this. Give some padding. There we go. Not too shabby. And so far so good. It looks pretty good. Now we're gonna have to make the footer fixed here. Oops. And then we could put like 100. There we go. So now both the top and the bottom, and we can make this height a little bit less. There we go. Now both the top and the bottom are fixed, but we don't really need to see the bottom area here. We just want to kind of hide everything from the bottom. Okay, that works pretty good for me. And as far as coloration, now let's go ahead and put these picks here. Now, when it comes to the picks, we want to make sure we pick some good picks also. So we're just going to go ahead and put some nice images here. Let's put let's make them, let's see, 100 across and 250 down, and make it abstract. Okay, and then we got to give them each number. So let's do the first abstract, the second abstract, and the fifth abstract. Now these colors are horrible. I mean, these sizes are horrible. So we're going to put 200 on each one of these. Here we go. It's a lot better. Okay. So now we're going to put these, we're going to make these be side by side here. Oh, and then I forgot to do one thing. I need the background attachment to be fixed. That way it won't move. We want that nice picture to stay sitting right there. There we go. Beautiful. Now let's put these pictures side by side, these divs side by side. So what I've done is I've put these three divs. Let's see, where are they? There we go. I put these three divs in one div called services. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the div inside services all go side by side. So let's call up services, and we're going to do text align center. And now you see all these pop to the center. Okay. And then we're going to go inside each one of those. Now what I've done is I've given them all the same class of services info. So you can either do services and then div, or just go straight to the services info. And we're going to do display inline block. Now we got to give them all the same width. So we're going to give them the width of 32%. and now they're side by side. Now, if you do 33%, what happens sometimes is that the math is too correct, it's too exact, and one gets pushed over. So I always go a little bit less. And now we have our pictures side by side here. You see that? And it works out beautifully. Now, we gotta, of course, give, let's see here, vertical line top. We gotta give them a little bit of space when they get smaller, but we'll work on that later. Okay? And that works out beautifully. So now when they get this close, which is at around 680 pixels, I want them to snap to be one underneath the other, but we could do that with media queries. So now that these pictures are up there like this, we still can't see the picture behind, but it works out pretty well. I like it. So what we want to do is we want to make these pictures be transparent, translucent or transparent, and then when we hover over them to get darker. So what we're going to do is we're going to make each one of those pictures here we're going to get an opacity of 0.4. Okay, very good. And now when we hover, service info image hover, the opacity, is going to be at full, just like that. And of course you can give these some transitions, that way they don't look bad. And you can do the same thing up here. We can do these hover transitions really nice. And then they don't look so jarring. And then of course you can give these nice borders. I mean, there's just so much you can do, but this is beyond the scope of what this tutorial is for. The tutorial was just how to really get a good looking site from the colors that was given to you by the and actually I'm going to give this footer background a better background here. So it was 52581B, which is this one, which is 82 88 27, 82 88 27. Let's see, 82 88 27, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do the RGB and 1, and then give it a 0.75. Oh, RGBA, sorry. There we go. And now you can see everything. And it works out pretty good. I like it. I like it very much.